Have you ever run a marathon before and not told anyone? Well, I did. A few weeks ago, I ran Valencia Marathon 2024 and only a few people knew about it. Only 7 weeks before this, I ran the Chicago Marathon in a time of 3 hours and 40 minutes. 18 minutes off my PB, but an incredible experience and a race that I'm really proud of. Chicago was originally my target race, but unfortunately training was not consistent due to moving across the world back home and injury caused by stress. I managed to get a place for Valencia and decided to keep this one under wraps. A no pressure run, and to see how I felt on the day, this is how it went. We arrived in Valencia on Thursday and decided to go straight to the expo to collect our numbers. Because it was later on in the day, the expo was really quiet at this time, so it meant we could walk around freely and have a look around. We collected our numbers first before going to have a look at the New Balance merchandise section. We then took a look around at the other stalls before heading back to the apartment to begin our carb loading.
Yeah, go.
On Friday, we spent most of the day relaxing. However, we did pop out in the afternoon to head down to the start and finish area because you get to walk across the magical blue carpet, really get in the zone and visualise yourself crossing that finish line on Sunday.
Good morning from Valencia. It is Saturday, day before the race, and we are out for a shakeout run. I'm with the running club gang. Just after 9:30. Conditions are pretty good. And there's lots of runners out, I guess, also enjoying their last shakeout run before the race tomorrow.
Track.
300 metres?
Yeah.
No.
It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen on race.
T-minus 1.5 hours. How are we feeling, James? Come on, a bit more than that.
Good to go.
Good to go.
Danos un fuerte aplauso, Valencia.
Cette année, le marathon de Valencia est plus qu'un déplacement. Aujourd'hui, nous courons tous sur Valencia. Aujourd'hui, le monde entier comprend.
Valenciana, arriba, arriba, arriba. Arriba Valencia, arriba Valencia, esas manos.
Vamos, 500 metros y cruzáis esa línea de meta.
Sigue corriendo, sigue.
La buena campeona.
Okay, so we are back from Valencia now, and I thought I'd do a quick recap about my experience and how we even got here, because some people wouldn't even know that I was running Valencia. So let's rewind it back to Chicago. I was training for Chicago. Training got interrupted slightly with a few niggles and a few other things going on, and a place became available for Valencia, which would have been 7 weeks after Chicago. One of our friends who was originally due to do it couldn't then make the date anymore, so I just thought, with everything that was going on, I'd need more time for marathon training. So I booked the place and just decided not to tell anyone. Focused on Chicago. Chicago went really well. Had an amazing race experience and finished in 3 hours 40. So the hope was to recover, tune up a little bit, and then see if I could knock off a few more minutes from my Chicago time. Now, the floods then happened in Valencia, which was obviously a really, really sad time, and probably still is for Spain and Valencia itself. And there was uncertainty about what was happening with the race. And so many people and the online forums, and I know you shouldn't believe stuff like that, but everyone was just saying other events were getting cancelled. So everyone just thought it's not going to go ahead. So my mindset also then started to believe that it wasn't going to go ahead. And because Chicago had gone better than I thought it would, I was like, oh, well, I'm happy with that and I can rebuild after that and move on to 2025. Then we got the email to say it's going ahead. And I thought, oh no, I was actually a bit disappointed, if I'm being honest, that I had to run another marathon and try and gear my mindset back into the right place again. But all was fine. And yeah, we, just then had to start preparing for it. But because I hadn't told many people, some people had guessed just based on my training and the fact that we were going to Valencia, or just some people assumed that because I was going, James and I tend to do the same races anyway. If one person's going, then we tend to do it at the same time. And yes, then just tried to gear myself up for it. Followed my normal routine in terms of the tapering and carb loading and etc. etc. But I also didn't know how to feel because I hadn't told anyone, so I hadn't really built it up either to have that excitement or the nerves start kicking in, and I just felt quite neutral. Obviously trying to prepare myself mentally that I had to run another 26.2 miles because it's a long old way. But race morning rolled around and James and I had spoken in the build up, and the idea was just see how it went. Run the first half like pretty steady, and then adopt the 10-2 approach that I'd used in Chicago, which was 10 minutes of running and 2 minutes running, but just backing off the pace a little bit. And that was just because it just helped from a fitness perspective, and also actually I found mentally it really, really helped. If I've been honest, I couldn't bother to change the workout on my watch, so I just kept the 10-2 on there for the whole time. I just started that from the get-go. And the gun went off. Off I went, obviously, as well, with lots of other people. Tried not to go too fast at the start, and quite quickly realised that I was kind of hovering just under 8-minute miles. Around 8-minute miles is around a 3:30 finish, and I've only ever finished under 3:30 once, which was my PB from London in 3:22. Now, in my mindset, I was going to be aiming for something anywhere sort of around 3:35, I would really hope for. I also had in my head under 3:32 because that was like my second fastest time. So I was like, if I can achieve my second fastest time, then I'd would be so over the moon. But also just wanted to take it and see how I went. And quite quickly, early on, I was feeling good. And I know that's very easy to say that when you're at the start of a race. But I don't know, something in my mindset switched and just said, right, today we're going to focus, we're going to get in the zone, and we're going to be in control today. And that's what I did. I worked for the 10-2. The race was the course is flat, it's fast, it's got great support, but without being too overwhelming or too busy. Some areas of the course were busier than others, but nothing ridiculous like it can be in some majors. Water stations were all good as well. They had bottles at some of them, which were really helpful. They were only every sort of 5k or 3 miles. So in other majors, they tend to be, and I appreciate this is not a major, but I'm used to running majors, and the water stations are more frequent than that. So I took that into account and carried the water bottles with me for a long period of time because of the weather. It was a bit hotter than the UK. But as well, with all of the training we've done over the last few years in hotter climates, that wasn't an issue. Anyway, I digress, back to the race. So yeah, it was just trying to focus, stay in control. And I just found naturally, again, like Chicago, I was getting faster in those 10-minute blocks as I kept progressing through the race. I was feeling good. And I was just using the kilometre markers to gauge that I was under the next 5 minutes barrier to keep at that kind of 8-minute mile average pace. And it was just all going really well. There was no pressure to it. I could just focus on me, what I was doing. And with the way that I was running, it was just that positive reinforcement that things were going well. So that just mentally helps you too. And then got past halfway, still feeling quite good. I mean, I guess some of this is probably erased from my mind now. I'm sure I wasn't feeling amazingly good at halfway because you're 13 miles into a marathon. I think I got a bit carried away between mile 18 and 20, according to my pace. And yeah, was just like getting really excited. And like, oh my goodness, this is happening, this is on. And then that came to bite me quite quickly, probably about 5 miles. So I was looking at the kilometre markers with about 8 kilometres to go. But I was like, 8 kilometres, 5 miles, like you can dig now with everything that I've been through over these last few months and things that have happened. You can run for 8 kilometres. You signed up for this. You chose to do this. 8 kilometres is not as hard as what other things are happening right now. Yeah, so that's what kind of kept me going. But the 10-2 also really worked. I was like, 10 minutes of running, 2 minutes, you can have a little bit of a break. No walking was done. It was just, you can back off the pace. And the watch was going, telling me to run. And I was like, right, you've got 4 more blocks to go, 3 more blocks. And then I was trying to work out when we were coming to the last bit, because I knew you come onto a piece of road where you're then heading toward that blue carpet. And yeah, was just fighting at this stage with everything left in me to just keep going and keep moving. But again, with how well I was doing, that was what kept driving me and pushing me forward. Came down onto that blue carpet. I could see the finishing arch and thought, if I really put my foot down now, I'll be able to sneak under 3:28 and finish in 3:27. And I did that. And yeah, 3:27, I think 52. So just under, but I don't care, we're taking it. Second fastest marathon time, a Boston qualifying time, and the biggest smile on my face that even with everything that's gone on in these last few months, I can do it and I am capable, and it's given me that belief and fire for future goals and for 2025. So I would highly recommend Valencia. It's a beautiful city. That's the 3rd time we've been there now. James and I were there in 2019 to do the 10K. We were back there last year to watch the race and then back there to race this year. So yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was in disbelief. I was just over the moon, so happy, and yeah, looking forward to what next year has to bring. So yeah, I'm sorry that I kept it secret, but also as well, it was nice to just keep it under wraps for once and just kind of run a race for me and show myself that I can do it and I'm capable, and there's more to come, and I know that and I can feel that as well. So that's also what's really exciting. So I have got marathon number 11 lined up already. I will talk about that in the next video. So if you've managed to stick around for this time, thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.